Hey guys, so I just left Cooper's green room, and it looks like he's almost ready to go. I'm not sure if it's something he ate, or I don't know, maybe he's just really slow, or doesn't care at all about anyone else's schedule. But I've got a day and, oh, there he is. It's great to see you, boss. I was just saying how much I write. Got it. And we're live in 5, 4, 3... It's go time, Arizona.
You're cute. Did you have to eat the fly? That was too early for that. I'm still drinking my coffee. Welcome in, Arizona. This is the Hometown Arizona Daily Show. My name is Cooper. I'm with the platform Hometown Hawk. And every day at noon, Monday through Friday, I stop in here. We're streaming on multiple platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. And we break down a single industry local to Arizona. Today we're going to talk about local coffee shops. Hometown Hawk covers a lot of different areas of local culture. There's food and just general places and events and music and products, people and brands. So if you're not listed on the platform, it's free. Just go in there, list it, and be sure to claim it. And you have options once you add that listing to increase your visibility if that's what you're looking for. But today I'm going to run through a little segment we call Walk a Mile. I'm going to walk a mile with a local coffee shop in the shoes of a local coffee shop owner. Still got my coffee. I'm drinking the Roastery of Cave Creek, Rock 2. If you haven't tried that, that's great. They're on Hometown Hawk. You can go to their website. I believe you can order directly from them. Let's talk about coffee shops. There is a moment most customers never see. It happens before the sign flips open, before the espresso machine starts screaming, before the first regular walks in and says, "You already know what I want." It's quiet. The chairs are still stacked. The pastry case is empty. The grinder is clean for about 5 more minutes. And somewhere in the back, a coffee shop owner is already doing math. It's not the fun kind of math. Not the how many drinks did we sell yesterday kind. It's the real math. How much did the beans cost this week? How many gallons of milk are left? Did the delivery come in? Is the ice machine acting weird again? Did somebody call out? Can they afford to run a slow Tuesday morning with 2 people on the floor instead of 1? And then the doors open. To most of us, a local coffee shop feels simple. It feels comfortable. It feels like a place to meet a friend, to take a laptop, grab a cold brew, or stop in for 5 minutes before the day starts to get away from us. But for the person behind the counter, this place is alive. Every bag of beans has a cost. Every cup, lid, sleeve, syrup, pastry, splash of oat milk. It's all part of the equation. Every person sitting for 3 hours with one drink might be part of the culture they want to build, but it also means a table is occupied in a business that survives on inches. And if they roast their own coffee, the pressure goes up even more. They're not just running a cafe, they're sourcing green coffee, managing roast profiles, dialing batches, timing inventory, training baristas, selling bags, maybe trying to get wholesale accounts with local offices, restaurants, hotels, or markets. One bad roast isn't just a mistake, it's wasted product. It's money, it's time. It's the difference between a customer saying, "That was amazing," and a customer never coming back. That's what people sometimes miss about local coffee. It may feel cozy from the outside, but inside it's a very delicate machine. The espresso has to be dialed in. The staff has to move fast without making people feel rushed. The space has to be welcoming but not chaotic. The Wi-Fi has to work. The music has to feel right. The bathroom has to stay clean. The line has to move. The drinks have to be consistent. And somehow through all that, the owner still has to create a place that feels human. Because that's what local coffee shops really sell. Yes, they sell caffeine, but they sell lattes, Americanos, or cold brews, and breakfast burritos and muffins. But what they're really offering is a small pause in the day. A place where a teacher grades papers before school, a contractor grabs coffee before heading to a job site, a real estate agent meets a client, mom sits alone for 10 quiet minutes. A group of retirees take over the corner table every Wednesday morning. A new business owner opens a laptop and tries to figure out how to make their own dream work. That's the magic of a neighborhood coffee shop. It becomes part of people's routines before they even realize it. And the owner starts to know things. They know who drinks drip black coffee. They know who switched from regular milk to almond milk, who just had a baby, who lost somebody, who got the new job, who always comes in stressed, and who just needs someone to say, "Good morning." That connection is almost impossible for a national chain to create. A chain can be convenient, it's familiar, it can be fast. But the local shop has the memory. It remembers the neighborhood. And for local coffee shops, there's another layer to it. They're not just competing with other cafes, they're competing with heat, habits, drive-thrus, rent, rising food costs, staffing shortages, and customers who may love the idea of supporting local but still default to whatever's closest, cheapest, fastest. That's a hard place to stand because a local coffee shop has to be charming, efficient, affordable, high quality, community-minded, and financially stable, all at the same time. And if they're roasting, they also have to convince people that coffee can be more than a caffeine delivery system. They're trying to teach customers that beans have origin stories, that roast levels matter, that fresh coffee tastes different, that a bag from a local roaster isn't just a product on a shelf, it's someone's craft. Someone tasted it, adjusted it, burned a batch or two learning it, stayed late packaging it, printed the label, put it on the shelf, and hoped someone would care enough to take it home. That's the part we don't always see. We see the finished drink. We don't see the early mornings, the broken equipment, the payroll stress, the landlord, the slow afternoons, the online reviews, the training, the cleaning, the inventory, the hope. Hope is a big part of it. Every local coffee shop is built on a belief that people still want places, real places. Places with names and faces and regulars and neighborhood stories, and a little bit of personality. A place where the owner might still be behind the counter. Where the barista might remember your dog's name. It's a place where the walls might have art from someone local. Flyers might promote a community event, and the tip jar might be raising money for someone's medical bill, school trip, or an animal rescue. That's why these businesses matter. They're not just selling coffee, they're helping hold the rhythm of a community together. So when we talk about walking a mile in the shoes of a local coffee shop or roaster, we're talking about stepping into a day that starts before sunrise and doesn't really stop when the doors close. We're talking about craft, hospitality, speed, pressure, community, all happening at once. We're talking about someone trying to make a living by giving people a place to begin their day. And maybe the next time we walk into a local coffee shop, we notice little things a little differently. The sound of the grinder, the person wiping down the counter, the owner checking the pastry case, the roaster stacking bags near the register, the regular in the corner, the first sip of something made by someone who's trying every single day to keep a little local place alive. Because behind every cup is a business. Behind every business is a person. And behind that person is a story. It's definitely worth slowing down for. We all love our coffee. I almost started a coffee shop many, many years ago. Had the space, this terrific space. It was in the Midwest. Had the sign right off a main drag college town. Built a stage for music. We're musicians. That's when we first started. We were professional musicians. We traveled around. Played 3-4 times a week. Covered about 4 states. And for some crazy idea, for some crazy reason, we thought that we could, on top of that, start this coffee shop. It was going to be called Generations Coffee. But we traveled so much. We think that maybe part of it was, playing professional music is it's a tough life. In the Midwest, you deal with a lot of stuff. A lot of weather issues in the winter. So yeah, I had the space, had the location, had the nice big parking lot, built the stage. We just didn't have the time ultimately the money, because by the time you get the city inspector checklist completed, drains not in the right spot, going to put the bar over here, you got to have, you know the drill, all the stuff. That's $20,000. But wait, it's not our building. The owner would have to do it. Nope. So it ended up for us being a very expensive practice hall. We'll never forget all of, we've talked about it even recently. It's no different today. There's a lot that goes into it. Margins weren't great. We didn't have the margins even, we were young, didn't know what we were doing. But you still do the math, you still do the margins. Where's my profits coming from? And in reality, and I wonder if they deal with the same thing today. People, the space that we had was great. It was very casual, it was large. People had multiple rooms. Because with coffee shops, people want to chill. They want a place to go. And if you look at an hourly rate, like as a business owner and your rent, depending on whether you rent or you own, and most businesses rent. And it's usually not cheap. And I think that has a lot to do with the high level of failing local coffee shops. When you go into think about it, if you go to any restaurant and you try to sit there for 2 hours, kind of frowned upon. Time is money. You got to keep people moving through. But coffee shops are different. That's really why we love them and we like going to them. And it's a battle they all face, I'm sure. We did, just trying to make things work. I mean, not that we opened our doors, but you can see it. You can go visit other places, and then you've got to have such tremendous margins on your product that you're selling to offset that. How does that space make that kind of money? The square footage has to make sense because that's what you're ultimately paying rent on. And if you're just paying, or you've got a large footprint for a lot of people to sit around and maybe order one or two drinks, it's like the concept of a bar, for example. But bars, and oftentimes, depending on where they are, they'll have a minimum. You can't just sit there. There's covers, or there's a minimum per drink per hour, or however they do it. You can't really do that with coffee shops. Nobody would go, or not enough. So it's a battle. It's a battle we faced, and we knew it before we even opened. Once we did that, if we opened those doors, we were going to lose a heck of a lot more money than we had already lost up to that point or put into it. So we turned it into a practice hall. Eventually, our brand new fancy sign was vandalized. But we've always talked about it and have always had, I'd say, dreams. It's a thing that I think so many people want to do. They think of, and it makes me wonder if it's because coffee is just awesome and people love it themselves personally, and they just envision themselves starting a coffee shop. But once you get into it, and that it's a difficult space. But amazing. It's one of the most amazing. To me, if you find a good coffee shop, your life improves. I remember I felt that way. I used to hang out. My work brought me over to downtown Chandler a lot, and there's a place called Peixoto. They had figured it out. That's a nice place. I believe it's still there. It's a good hang, good coffee, good people. They're like what a coffee shop should be. I believe they're roasters as well. Have their origin story. But since we've started Hometown Hawk, we've had a lot of we've added a lot of coffee shops and roasters, and they come and go a lot. Tough business, but my gosh, if you can figure it out and if you can make it work, it changes an area, it changes a neighborhood. It improves the lives of everybody there. It's just fantastic. I love coffee shops. When they integrate music, there's so many waves from the ripple effect that a successful coffee shop brings to an area. It's like we talked about a couple days ago, music stores, very similar. There's such a deep ripple wave in a community and in an area. I always envision a glowing dot on a map. It's pulsing, or it's just a glow, and it's almost like the power of, or the ripple effect of whatever that thing is. If it's a music store, what kind of ripple effect can you have? How red and glowing is that dot? How many lives does it affect? How many other businesses, people, the economy, the money in that area, the real estate values, all of that has an effect. Some more than others. I would say coffee shops have the potential to have a large impact on an area, on the happiness, if you will, of an area. If they integrate all the stuff and they're able to pull it off. It's important to support local coffee shops. And in our opinion, it's for those reasons, because of the impact it has, the ripple effect in areas. Now, a local area, it's a more neighborhood, like, doesn't have East Valley coffee shop doesn't really have an effect on the West Valley. That's true. And they're very, hyper local, very neighborhoody kind of, unless they're in downtown areas, and that's still very neighborhoody. Downtown is pretty much just a neighborhood community in its own right. Bottle and Bean Coffee in downtown Ocotillo has an impact on downtown Ocotillo for sure. That's why we go there. And it's just a little place in a corner where people hang out and buy coffee and other things. It's a good example. Arizona is very neighborhood centric. We have some neighborhoods are very large. They're more like almost small cities. They're areas. Usually there's shopping near them. That's what helps their values and if there's a good local coffee shop in one of those strip malls or complexes that's popular, that's able to hang around, then they definitely have an impact on that area. We're in real estate, and it would be one of the first things. Like when somebody asks you about the amenities or location, that whole phrase, you start pointing to things. Well, over here, you're close to shopping, you're close to this and that, the medical, and there's a wonderful coffee shop, and that's, oh, really? What's that? That's what I would point to. That's where, if I, as a homeowner, I would go into an area and be like, well, let's go check out that coffee shop. Has a large influence on an area, on an economy, on the happiness level. So the message: support your local coffee stores, shops, roasteries. Like one of my favorites is the roastery in Cave Creek. I don't think they have a shop or a actual. So they're not a coffee shop. They're a coffee roaster. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. But I have not seen it. So when you go to Hometown Hawk, here's the social feed. That's roastery. There's the we do have categories, but I think we're going to change this up. There's three. There's coffee, coffee roasters, and coffee shop. I'm confused between coffee and coffee shop, so I'm going to decide between those two. What do you think we should do? Coffee roasters has to be special and different because there are people and places that don't have brick and mortar or where they serve the public. They're just roasters and they distribute their roast. I think I like coffee shop better. I think I'll move everything from coffee. And we'll have two. It'll be coffee roasters and coffee shops. I think that was on the list a while back to do, and then I forgot. So here we're looking at, this is just the coffee, so I would change that to shops. We've talked about Hava Java. I like places, like we learned about Hava Java through music, through bands that played there. And anybody that supports bands and local musicians and then has coffee, come on. It's a lot of ripple effect because the coffee shop can also support local bakeries, which we did yesterday. Bottle and Bean, I believe, is also a wine bar. So supporting, I don't know if they make their, I'm assuming they have local bakery options and local wine. Places like this are great. They really have strong ripple effect. Not every local business has a strong ripple effect. Coffee shops certainly do. I would say bakeries do. I know that music stores do. So if you have a coffee shop, if you know of a coffee shop and it's not listed, list it. Go list it. Anybody can list. You don't have to own it. You just can't check the ownership. I claim this listing. It'll just be there. That's how we add most of the listings when we do. They're just available to be claimed. So the owner or a representative of the owner at any time can go in there and claim it. And that's important because claimed listings are eligible to be sponsored. Our sponsorship program is what gets them visibility. They get displayed all over. They get access to Hometown social feed like Roastery of Cave Creek here. Here's the Handle Bar, Pub, and Grill. That's out in AJ. The Lost Dutchman Museum. Turnover Painting from Hometown Bricks over in Mesa. There's the Hava Java, Mesa Hava Java. Cider Cores, we talked about them yesterday. If you haven't had Cider Cores, try them out. Got excellent cider. There's Mike Goodrick, emo, acoustic emo night. and elevate your listing. You can get access to the Hometown social feed, increased visibility, articles written, and most importantly, you're eligible to be sponsored by others, by anybody really. The general public can. Businesses can sponsor other businesses. Obviously, they can sponsor themselves. And it's the only space that we allow for national brands to enter the platform of Hometown Hawk. So if you're a national brand and you want advertising, you want to advertise, the only option we have is for you to sponsor other local businesses. I can give you an example here with Rock 2, where we have elected to sponsor Roastery of Cave Creek. And this is what the listing would look like. As you see, it pops up and it wiggles there. That's that pinch and zoom. It's not. But you see it there. Got the little megaphone. It says Hometown Hawk. Has sponsored, and then through a length of time. So, a national brand, you get to put your logo there. You can link that. There is an option to link. When somebody clicks on that, it will take you to the national sponsors website. But what it does to the listing is it gives it an elevated presence. It gives them access to Hometown Social, increases their visibility across the board. They show up on World of Arizona, on our family and suite of websites. If you go to the top of the page, let's go back to Hometown Hawk here in the top right corner, the network. It shows up there. An additional site there it needs to be added is Yellow Brick Drive. It's a real estate neighborhood driven website. It just gets seen a lot more on other websites that have other types of content. Hometown Hawk is really just a directory and a listing. It's listings of local, I see at the top there, food and drink places, music, people and brands and products and events. It's just all local. And local meaning, if they're businesses, they're registered businesses in Arizona. They're headquartered in Arizona. They have a presence in Arizona. And it is all checked. It's a reference point. Go there if you're planning your weekend or your week and your shopping lists and you're looking, well, how do I really find, and like if I'm looking for a specific bakery or if I want to contribute at some level to the local economy or to my area, the local culture, you can go here and it can give you an idea of what local means. These are local businesses. And somewhere in your day, maybe you can you decide not to go to the national brand store for certain things. It's all really we can do. I mean, it's not a anti-national campaign here. They're the ones that create the jobs. They're the ones that they built these towns, to be honest. Most of them that we live in. So that's why we created the sponsorship program. Allows national brands to work hand in hand and partner with local listings. National guys have bigger budgets. So we figured, well, let's network the two together. So the importance of claiming your listing. Once a listing has been claimed, there'll be a sponsor button. That allows you to for the owner or a representative of that listing to claim it. You get an email. You just got to verify a few things. It's pretty simple. It's free. It's quick. You get a little verified badge. And then you're eligible to be sponsored. So when a national brand comes and says, I want to sponsor 10 businesses for the year, now they get their little badge and they've sponsored these 10 businesses. So that's why they do it. They like it. And these 10 businesses or these 10 listings get they get elevated experiences. They get the elevated listing package, which gets them more visibility, gives them the option and the opportunity to post freely. The only people that can post in Hometown Social are premium listings. So my point is, if you've claimed your listing and they're eligible to be sponsored, when those national brands say, hey, we want to sponsor 10 businesses, we're going to leave it up to you, because they might say, we don't know who we want to sponsor. We want to leave it up to Hometown Hawk to do that. The first thing we do is go look at the eligible claimed listings. If they haven't been claimed, we certainly can't sponsor a business listing where the owner may not even know that they're being sponsored or even have a listing on our directory. So that's why we do that. So we talked about coffee shops. Yesterday we talked about bakeries. The day before on Monday we talked about music stores. Tomorrow we're going to talk about breweries. Friday we're going to talk about music. It's 12:47. It's Wednesday, June 24th. My screen says 104. Give a quick shout out. Anybody knows of any business, specifically coffee shops, if they're not on our platform, add them or tell us about them and we'll add them. There's a cool little button. Forgot to show this yesterday. When you add a listing, up in the top right corner, there's that plus sign that says add. And these are the categories. But so a coffee shop would be a food and drink. Click on the food and drink, and then it's going to give you an option, that big blue button that says, let us add your listing. That's a good way to just let us know. You click on that guy, it slides out, and it listing owner's name, email, throw the link in there, submit it. It tells us about it. We'll go grab it and add it quickly. Or if you're feeling ambitious, I mean, it takes a lot, not a lot, it takes a little bit of effort, because, we usually just go scrape photos from other listings that they have on Facebook or their website, just to give people a starting point to see. That can all be changed when you come and claim it. If the owner comes or a representative claims it later on, you change all that. Update the photos if you want, the writings, the description. You don't like the category, you can change everything. Our goal is just to get it out there quickly. Grab one of the images that you're already using on your website just to create a thumbnail for it so people can see it. It's in the directory, it's searchable. Our website does fairly well with SEO. Gets better and better every month. There's visibility there, it gets seen, but really it's just a place for us to pull information from and to shine lights and spotlights and through our lives and through our social posts and through our activity. So it's easy to add somebody. If you don't want to do it, click the let us add it for you. It lets us know that somebody out there wants something added. There's the couple disclaimers. There's the locally owned business terms and conditions, basically saying this is a local to Arizona business. And then there's that claim. By default, it's checked. If you're not the owner or representative of this business, don't check that. I mean, once you do, it'll remind you, because if you're the owner, it's going to send you an email to verify. Pretty basic form. Got your logo, your images, add your business hours if you want. Bunch of highlight options. Add a video. You got to put your address in. And if it's out of your home, for example, you can click private address. Basic contact information, your social media accounts. If you have an e-commerce store, we'll link to that. You can decide whether you want the ratings and comments to be displayed. You know, always turn that off. And then, of course, you can link your listings together if you're for example, if you're a coffee shop and you have live music, that's an event. So you can go and add an event. I changed listing type here, and I wanted to add an event. I could do that and then link it to my listing. So now I have a local coffee shop, and on my listing, it will show people the upcoming events. In that case, live music. Another blue button, let us add your event for free. Just let us know what it is, where we can find the information, and we'll go do it. Basic event type stuff there you fill out. The different packages, the categories. Cardi's up there. Our AI Cardi will help you through the process, which gives you a little tutorial. All right, folks, that's it for today. Tomorrow we're coming back. We're going to talk about microbreweries or breweries, local breweries. Today we did local coffee shops. These will all end up as standalone videos in the Walk a Mile series on YouTube. We'll try this again tomorrow at noon. I'll see you then.
Hey guys, so Cooper has left the facilities, and I guess this means the show's over? So if you could just start moving your hand in the upward swiping motion, that would be great. Or maybe you're more of the mouse type. I know I love me a good mouse. They're just so crunchy. Okay, focus. Yeah, so if you've got a mouse, could you please just start moving your hand over the mouse device thingy and guiding it towards the close button at the top? That would also be great. Come on, folks. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So you're not moving. I'll disconnect. I swear to God I will. Fine then.